love that intro so much, so much. Hello and good evening, everyone. We are a little bit earlier than we normally are. My name is Turmentic.
And I'm CNO from TCG Island, and this is...
Let's Talk MetaZoo. So, how are y'all doing on this fine Monday? We're coming a little bit earlier than we normally do, switching it up a little bit. We have a wonderful guest with us tonight, though. You guys have probably recognized some of his stuff, at least throughout the interview. You'll recognize some of his pictures from stuff he's shown in the Discord, but is our friend Alex, aka Mr. Razzmatazz. Thank you so much for coming on with us, man.
Thanks for having me.
In case you don't know who he is, Mr. Razzmatazz, he is the traveling caster. He goes around to specific areas, takes pictures, explores, learns a little bit about the lore behind the beasties that are there. As someone who's obsessed with the lore of MetaZoo, I'm really excited for this. I'm really excited to highlight what you've been doing, because there aren't really many people that kind of took that idea of like going to a specific lake because of a cryptid and taking a picture with it. So I'm really excited to kind of like hear your all the stories and stuff. We have all the pictures. We're gonna go through all of them. Yeah, I'm super excited. Once again, thanks for being here. But the most important question of the entire interview: what is your favorite beastie, and why is it Squonk?
Well, Squonk is very round, and he fits perfectly in your pocket, so that's why. But in all seriousness, it would be the man himself, the Mothman.
Yeah.
Nice. Have you ever been able to go out to Point Pleasant?
Not yet, but hopefully this September I can make the trip.
That was a good response on the Squonk thing. I like that.
I love how unique they're getting too. Like every time everybody's coming up with their own answers. I love it. Squonk is the best, though, in my opinion. He's very. I just feel bad. I want to hug him.
He'll probably melt away.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. Have you always been into TCGs? What are your early days of TCGs? Things like that.
So as far as the trading card games go, I've always been kind of passively collecting them, like Pokemon and Magic, but never really playing them. But then one day I was in Target just perusing the trading card section, and I saw Smokey the Bear of all things. And I'm like, is this Smokey the Bear? Is it like a playable trading card? So then I look up MetaZoo, and I'd never heard of it before. And I'm like, oh, there's Bigfoot, and there's the Tombstone Monster, and then Flatwoods Monster. And like, these are all cryptids. I was just instantly hooked on that.
That's awesome.
Have you always been in the cryptids?
Yes, as pretty far back as I can remember, I've always been interested into monsters and mythology and cryptids.
Man, you got a collection of prints behind you, man.
Yeah, so if I pan up, it goes up a little bit further.
Oh my! We did not see that. We did not see that prior to this going on. So this is legitimate. Like
you have that perfectly framed, where I have no idea that there was more above that too. Oh my god!
Yeah, I went a little crazy with those because I always wanted something cryptid related, like to hang around. And MetaZoo has a whole variety of them. They're all uniform and then their art style. I just went a little crazy with those.
So so you got into MetaZoo because of finding the wilderness promo, or the Bigfoot promo, big box promo instead of Target?
Yeah, and then I went to the trading card shop close by, and I got some UFO stuff.
Oh, nice! You've been hooked ever since.
Yep.
Before we get into your travels, I want to ask, what's your favorite set so far?
I think it would actually have to be native, just the art style of them with like the subtle rainbow in each of the cards, and how they went into like such depth into like each different tribe, and how you have a little pronunciation at the bottom to help you.
Oh yeah, the phonetic spell. Oh my god, it's so amazing. Still can't pronounce some of them though. I'll say that. Yeah, definitely. There are like 3 that I have to practice. I need to literally take like 15-20 minutes one day and just sit there and read it over and over and over again, just because I keep telling people with the native names, it's don't hesitate, because if you hesitate, you're gonna mispronounce it. You just gotta keep going with it. Like just start and keep on going.
I learned a new language when I was opening native. That's how I feel, at least.
Yeah.
Let me So what So yeah, if you could give a description on basically what it is that you do, you know, where you're. I mean, I can say it, but I mean, basically, you're, what drove you to start doing what you do?
So I saw this one post of the Frogman Festival of someone going to the Loveland Castle and posting their pictures with the promos from the tournament. And while I was there at the water tournament, I wanted to go see the castle myself, but unfortunately, I didn't have enough time because I was actually in the tournament. And by the time I was not playing, it was already dark outside, so I couldn't go see it. But
That's cool.
And then I planned my vacation for the Hodak Festival. And I was like, okay, I'm going to take some cards with me and go take pictures with them. And I kind of just added more and more stops to the road trip as time went on.
I like how you started it though. Like the first picture you sent me, because these are all in the chronological order that he sent them to me too, so
Yep.
I can tell the story. It's kind of cool. The first one is literally you, your car, and the Cryptid Busters van, and I love it.
Yeah. So this photo, as simple as it is, took me like an hour to get because you're holding something so close to the phone and you want it to be focused and the background to be focused. So it took me like an hour to figure out that it's actually two photos put together.
You had to take one and then the other, and then super splice them together.
Yeah, and the like
there
collage
looked
feature.
like a couple of them. Like I could tell, like the way that you actually had focused them. I thought that was the case with some of them, but I just thought it was kind of funny. You're like, all right, cool. And then the first stop that you actually here, where is that at? That's right here.
Yep, Cherubusco. So it's pretty close by. It's actually where my dentist is for my whole life. So whenever I would go there for the dentist, I would always like look out the window, like, can I see the turtle? Can I actually see the monster? But this is at the center of the main street, which is like their prominent statue of him. But yeah, they love their turtle. It's called Turtle Town USA for a reason.
Oh, and, is that like, is it in the center?
What'd you say?
Is the turtle like in the center of the town?
Yes. So if you just put in like the town's name in Google Maps, it'll take you to the main street of the center of the town. So then you can kind of explore from there.
Okay, so it's super easy. It's super easy to find. Oh, okay. Nice. And then we got this guy.
So this is at my my grandparents' house, and this is my grandma's backyard. Because as far as I am concerned, this is a Crawfordsville to me. Which, interestingly enough, when I went there, I told them about what I was doing. They never heard of the Crawfordsville monster, and they lived there their entire life. And they've always been in, yeah, and they never heard of him, and they've always been into like the paranormal and cryptids and all these TV shows like that. So I taught them something new.
That's funny. I love the caption of that one too, because you had them all like entry number this, and like this one was Crawfordsville. I can't speak. Crawfordsville monster and the grandparents.
Yep.
Now the next one I thought was actually really cool. Because there's a lot of lore with Edgar Casey, but talk about this one.
So I knew he was born here, and I looked up his like Wikipedia page, and he died in like New York, I think. And I wasn't expecting to actually find his gravestone here where he was born, and this was like the perfect picture for this. And I oh, go ahead.
He lived in Virginia Beach for a good considerable amount of his time, like his life, and that's where his Paranormal Institute is still. That's where he lived there, for a while, and it was interesting because when he died, I am pretty sure that they moved him back to Kentucky in order to actually like bury him. But even though he was so like prolific, like I don't know if you can actually go and visit the actual research station that he set up in Virginia Beach, but I know it's still there.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, I just thought that was kind of really cool that you actually went and actually visited his grave.
And I wanted to leave something for him, but I didn't have anything quite to leave for him.
You could have just grabbed a stone or something from the path and left that even. Sometimes that
Maybe.
even is enough to suppress the spirits.
And I actually was like poking around as a grave to see what other people left. And if you pull up the picture, there's like this triangle stone by those blue flowers. When I poked at that, it like almost like vibrated. It felt like I'm like, whoa, this is just a
Oh
normal
wow,
rock.
yeah. Looking at, I didn't. Okay, that's kind of cool. I didn't realize at first that all of those around the gravestone were little trinkets.
Mm-hmm. So I just put that back where I found it.
Yeah, you don't want to disturb that. I wonder why somebody left a blue pen.
Yeah. And someone left like a little seal plushie at the top.
No, that's a lot of that's interesting. I thought I didn't realize at first that was all little offerings to Edgar Casey.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all get ready for more video from Turmentic on Edgar Casey's blue pen.
Oh my god, get out of here! What was it? What was it kind of like being at his gravesite?
Honestly, it felt like any other grave, but there was a big sign pointing to where his grave was. Like, here he is. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess that was easy to find.
All right, the next one.
I love this one. I love this one so much.
So when I was in Kentucky, I wanted to have some KFC to see if it was any better than any other place. It did taste a little bit better, and I went to the one in Hopkinsville because there wasn't really anything else picturesque to take a picture of.
So you commandeered the KFC in order to actually take the Hopkinsville picture.
Yep.
Hey, you're in Hopkinsville. Hey, who knows? It could actually been on the roof at some point. I mean, you're in the town. It's in the town.
I think you missed one.
Oh, which one was supposed to be next?
Little Green Men.
Yep.
Oh, did I not upload that one? Oh no, I might not have uploaded that one.
Uh-oh.
Look at me. It's always something. It's always something. I can get it. Watch. Give me 2 seconds.
1, 2.
All right, that was not fair, Mike.
Yep,
hey,
there they are.
There we go.
Hey.
So I didn't know they actually had like a little fairgrounds for them. Each what was it? Each August they have a little festival for Little Green Men at the spot.
Really?
Yeah.
How big is the festival?
From the size of this field, it doesn't look like super big. Maybe like the kind of like the Frogman water tower, that kind of size.
Okay, now is that actually? That's just like a flying saucer that was there, or was that like a tent? Then you're far away.
This is a flying saucer like sculpture they have in the middle of the field.
Oh, okay, okay. Did you actually go to the festival?
No, it's in August.
Oh, so that's just up year round.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. What does it say? They're talking.
I have a little story from Kelly to Evansville. When I was driving back, the sun was setting, and I was going down this dark forest path, and I looked down at my speedometer to see how fast I was going and how much longer was in the route. And when I look back up, I see this black blur going to the tree line. I'm like, whoa, what was that? But I have a dash cam when I drive, so I rechecked the footage, and it turned out to be nothing. So I guess just must be seeing stuff.
Hey, maybe you saw it, but your camera can't pick it up.
Oh, maybe.
That's what paranormal investigators, they got to have like special cameras and stuff, right? Like see infrared, and you sensed it. It was there. All right, now I'm back on track.
Yep. So I visited my cousins and aunt and uncle for the night, and then I went down to the Evansville River, or no, the Ohio River in Evansville to go take this picture of the LST.
That's pretty cool.
And again, they've my aunt and uncle have lived there for a while, and they've never heard about this monster either, which was pretty funny.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So
this one I chuckled at.
Yeah, there's literally not much here. Like my other option was to get a picture of the water tower, but I couldn't quite angle up my phone and hold the card at the same time. So I have this random monument that's like overgrown. But I was looking for rose bushes, but I didn't find any. But then when I was leaving town, they were like all there. I'm like, oh, well, there they are.
I already took the picture. I'm not doing it again.
Yeah. And the Tuttle Bottoms monster, when I was looking for Tuttle's Bottoms because it sounds like a town, it was like annexed by Harrisburg, so it's now Harrisburg's, Illinois. And there was like a nature preserve to the north, and I was trying to find like a good spot to take a picture of, and I was just driving like around. I found like this little indent in the cave or like in a cliff face, and it was just like a pointless little indent. It was like behind the car there's like a chimney into the rock face. Like, was there a house here at one point?
Huh. And that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So did you were you actually walking around trying to find it?
Not really. Because this leg of the trip I had 11 hours of driving planned. Like, I can do that, but it turned out to be a little bit more than I was planning, because obviously you have to spend a little time in each town, like look around. That adds more time to the whole day's trip.
How long were you planning on doing the whole trip? Like, how long was it supposed to take you? And how long did it end up taking you?
It took me a week, and I planned for a week, so I stayed on task the entire time.
Oh, you didn't get side yet? I would have gotten sidetracked.
There were a few spots where I'm like, I could sidetrack, but I gotta stick to the schedule.
And how many states did this trip take place through?
Indiana, Kentucky, Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Ohio. So 6.
Okay.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. I like how you had planned it too, to stop at all of these different places.
Mm-hmm.
Like, was it hard to find the different beasties to stop at? Like, did you handpick
so
these places or what? How did that
originally work? my plan was just to go to the Hodak Festival, so I put that in Google Maps, and it took me through Chicago. I'm like, I don't really want to go through the city, so I kind of angled it around, and it took me through Crawfordsville, where my grandparents are, and took me directly through Elkhorn, which is the Beast of Bray Road. I'm like, I could stop there and get some pictures. And then I'm like, well, why stop at those few? And so I like look through like my memory of where stuff is, and then I look through all of the MetaZoo cards and look at their GPS location, and then I like did a quick Google of like famous cryptids of each state to go visit, and it got a little crazy because I had to go so far down south to Kentucky because I really wanted to see the Hopkinsville Goblins, Infield Monster, and Piazza Bird.
Okay. That's nice. How long did it take you to plan everything?
Maybe a night, like a few hours.
Wow.
It's not bad, especially with this many trips. Did you actually add any trips on the fly?
Yes.
Oh.
You probably were questioning about like why was bookmark was one of the pictures. So
yeah. Earlier, before
we'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get to that one. Okay. All right. So yeah, this is the next one you sent me.
Yeah. So I pulled up and I saw this sign that had their Muddy Monster in the picture. So I'm like, well, this is the picture I'm gonna get. I only regret I didn't stop for apple pie here because I was so busy that day. And I can't stop for much.
Is that town famous for like their apple pie?
Apparently so. They're also famous for inventing Memorial Day.
What?
I didn't know that either. Like a guy who lived there, he just created Memorial Day. So now we have that.
Huh.
Wow.
And this is one I'm really proud of, is the Piazza Bird. And I didn't know that there was a huge cave directly behind him, but unfortunately it was closed off by the police because of probably falling rocks. Because there's like a 75-foot tall ceiling to this cave.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is one that I really want to see in person too. I know it's the reproduction of the original painting.
Yeah, and fortunately I was there at a good time where you can actually kind of see him instead of him being faded and needing to be repainted.
How massive is that?
It's surprisingly huge. He's like, I want to say like 100 feet long.
Oh wow! Get out!
Oh.
That's mad. I didn't realize it was that mad. I knew it was massive, but like that's
when I was driving there, I know like he's on a rock face facing the Mississippi River, and I'm like looking around like where could he be? Then all of a sudden you turn this corner, like boom, there he is. Like he's so huge.
Wow, I never thought it was that big. Like, I honest to God thought it was maybe 10 feet, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
No, I mean,
was
I knew
expecting.
it was like at least like 50 feet big. I mean, it is a sizable mural, but I didn't realize like 100 feet. I mean, that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
wow.
Yeah, no, that's definitely one I want to go. I want to go see at some point. What was it like actually being there?
It was pretty cool because you got like a view of the river, and then you had like this whole like rock face just for the Piazza bird.
Nice, and I know the town is obsessed with it as well too.
Mm-hmm.
Were
I
there
also
other
stopped for
and
pizza
stuff?
there. What's that?
Was there other sightseers there, and or was it kind
Yeah,
of?
there's like some locals just hanging out in the parking lot there, just as a meeting place for them.
Oh, nice.
That's pretty sweet. Oh my god, jealous of that one.
I think you oh no, that's the right one.
What
So
should be the next one?
yep, it's the right one.
Oh, okay.
So when I got here, it was pitch black in the small town. There's not very many street lights, so I like bumbled around here for like an hour, trying to find like a good spot because I was looking for like a World War II memorial because it's kind of like World War II era, but I couldn't find one. So then I like looked up his sightings, and this was the first street he was sighted on.
Oh, cool. Grant Avenue was?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I didn't know
So
you could.
do what, Mike?
I was gonna say I just didn't know you could pinpoint. I didn't know some of the beasties. I mean, I guess there is in the lore. I guess you could say where people see them, but
Yeah, because this was like
I
a phantom attacker, so there were police reports to this.
Mm-hmm.
wow, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some of the older ones, there actually were like police reports of the creatures and other stuff like that, so you can actually tell like what time of night like they actually were attacked and like where and stuff like that, or they were where they were sighted or stuff. That's really cool actually that you actually went to the street where Mad Gasser was first seen.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get out of there real quick? Did you actually stay in the town that night, or did you keep driving?
I kept driving for another, what was it, 4 or 5 hours into the night.
Yeah, I wouldn't have stayed there either.
Well, where I stayed wasn't much better.
All right, I think this is the next one.
Nope, it's Farmer City.
Farmer City, is that
With
this one? Nope.
Griddle Greaser Pete.
Oh, did that one not show up either? Oh, I'm failing. This is what happens when you rely on me and my tech skills. Griddle Greaser. Oh, there is Griddle Greaser. Okay, I got it. Bam. Man, that's one of the really cool ones too. Can't believe I missed him.
So the Farmer City monster isn't in MetaZoo, so I picked a card that has both city and farmer or farm terror bonuses, and Griddle Greaser Pete was the only one, which was surprising because he also doesn't have like an exact location to him too. So this was a pretty good place for him.
Oh,
That's pretty funny. That's pretty ingenious though. That's pretty funny. Was that the same night?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can tell when it gets darker, and then all of a sudden bright. That's a new day.
Is Beast of Bray Road next?
Yep.
yeah.
Right,
So
cool.
I stayed the night here because I arrived here at like 2 a.m. and like, oh, I just want to go to sleep. And then the next day I took the photo of the road. And this is
this where the Beast of Bray Road was actually seen?
Yes. And sadly, most of the street signs of this road have been stolen for some reason.
Yeah.
And actually, my stepdad, his family's name is Bray, and his family was derived from the people who lived here because of
that's cool.
there was William Bray. Yeah, this guy. This is William Bray. And then he had 2 sons named, was it George and John? Yeah, George and John, who moved here from I forget where in Europe, but somewhere in Europe, and they had 2 farms, and the Bray Road ran directly down the middle.
Oh wow, that's cool. Now, are they somehow tied to the Beast of Bray Road at all?
No. So it's the monster decided to appear there.
Okay. Did it ever terrorize them at all or anything?
As far as I know, no, because I have met the family. They tell stories of it sometimes to me because I'm interested in the stuff.
Oh,
But
how'd you meet them? That's pretty cool.
just my mom married this one guy. He happened to be a Bray.
Oh, that's so crazy. That's super cool. Next one is this one.
So yeah, this one is like a town of like 15 houses and a church. And surprisingly, there's a pet cemetery in the super super small town. Like, well, maybe there's a kangaroo here. This is probably why there's a ghost here.
I didn't realize that was a pet cemetery at first. When he sent that picture. Oh man. That sign is wild. You're not lying, MetaZoo. So it was smart actually using the ghost kangaroo in that one. That was smart. I like that.
Mm-hmm. And this is Rock Lake for Rocky. There's a house behind me taking this picture. We're doing like electrical work, and the electrician was like, "Hey, can you go tell your mom that I should be able to finish?" Like, I don't live here. I'm just here for a picture.
What's up, Poncho? How you doing, man? Welcome. Thanks for jumping in here. All right, now this one I know, Mike, you're going to be excited about.
Oh boy.
Well, you should hold your excitement because you missed one.
Which one did I miss?
Come on, Rock.
Manaya.
Okay, I should have gone back and actually double checked. It didn't upload all of them.
Yeah, I like
this one I thought was interesting too. Because of picking Manaya.
Mm-hmm.
And there it is. Okay.
Yeah. So this is for the Winnebago Lake Monster or Winnebago Water Monster, and it's obviously not in MetaZoo yet. And he's kind of look like almost Rocky, like a huge sturgeon, sea serpent kind of thing. So I picked a sea serpent that's really far out of the way that has its own country to itself on its GPS. So I'm like, well, here's Manaya. He wants to play with the Winnebago Water Monster. So where is he?
That's kind of cool. I could see that actually happening. That's okay. That's the next one in is a Kanto.
Yep. So when I was playing this route or the route, I didn't do much research into the towns themselves or like the local area. I just knew here's where the monster was. I'm gonna go there, and then when I pull up there, I'm gonna go try and find a good spot to take a picture of and learn more about the town and cryptid. And when I heard the name like Ocanto Falls, I was thinking like this is gonna be like some picturesque waterfall, like an hour hike's worth into the woods, but it just turned out to be a town who actually got rid of their waterfall and replaced it with a dam.
Did you go looking for the dragon at all?
Yep.
Nice. I would have too. Don't worry.
It's a very, very pretty white dragon.
Like, is this one of the ones that you had to take the picture and then take the dam and then put them together?
No, I stood in this. So I stand in the location, and I take a picture of the card holding it with a blurry background, and I lower the card and take the picture so the lighting is the same, and if any like blur aspect can kind of line up if I don't hold the card like perfectly.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know it's just a picture of a dam, but that is actually probably one of my favorite pictures out of all the
Oh
ones
yeah.
you sent
Well,
me.
well, that's the Ocanto Falls now.
I mean, that's just yeah. All right, now this is what I'm really excited about because I want to hear all about the Hodag Festival.
Yeah, so I was actually surprised like how much they love this thing, and how integral it was to the city's survival, because this was a lumber town originally, and so Gene Shepherd created this so that it could attract more business and travelers to their town when the lumber goes away, so that it can still exist today. And it was just a mix of a town's history, lumberjacking, and this cryptid, the Hodag.
Yeah, it looked. I wanted to go. I literally wanted to go. It looked like it was a ton of fun. Like some of the pictures you sent me.
Yeah, there was a foot race between Squonk, Babe the Blue Ox, and Hodag, and Hodag won.
God.
Well, it was great because those are the same costumes that they brought with them, the Cryptid Con.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so like they have a huge presence at like Cryptid Con, at Mothman Festival, And so, like at CryptidCon, they were like Squonk and Hodag were chasing each other. Like they took I don't think I uploaded it, but they had like the truck with them, like the Hodag car that you saw.
Yeah.
They had that actually at the Mothman Festival. But yeah, no, they had the little rideable Hodag at CryptidCon. Like, yeah, they go all out. They go all out. Like,
Hodag just got back from Mardi Gras, man. He's got bees on his neck.
Celebrating his birthday.
They're a fun group though, man. If you ever get a chance to talk to any of them, the Hodag Heritage guys at any of the festival, definitely.
Yeah, so if you pull up the picture of the card and the Hodag,
all right.
Behind the card is a guy standing there. He's like promoting his new book about pictures from the town then and now, and he was the photographer for them, and he was wondering why I was taking this picture holding up this red card. So then I explained to him what I was doing, and he gave me some free stuff from the gift shop. It was pretty cool.
You were just trying to get him out of the picture. You were just covering him up.
I was trying to frame the Hodag best as I could.
Thanks for getting rid of me out of your picture. Here's some free swag.
Yeah.
I did want to show this off. I thought this was kind of cool.
Yeah, so these little statues of the Hodag are like all over the town, like by businesses and stuff. And this is the courthouse, and it says all eyes are on the Hodag. And I like their dome on top, how it's copper and it now oxidized to green, so it kind of looks like Hodag scales or fur.
Oh no, that's kind of cool. So so did you actually explore the town of like Rhinelander and everything like before after the festival?
So after the festival, I was gonna do that, but then I had a mild case of food poisoning, so I slept for like 12 hours instead. But I did take the bus tour, which was a pretty good informative place to learn about the town and Hodag. And I was going to go back to those spots to take more pictures, but couldn't do that.
So tell us more about the Hodag Festival. Like, what were some of the events that they had going on there? What were some of the vendors and stuff that you actually saw? Like, did you see any other costumes or anything? Like people dressed up?
No. So there was just those three cryptids in costumes. There was a Hodag calling contest, and I participated. And I felt like I did pretty well. Got like a 38.5 out of 30.
Okay.
Can you do the Hodag call right now?
Oh my God, please.
I have to think about what I did exactly. It was like.
Bro.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
40 out of 40 for me. All right. Like,
thanks.
Get all the points.
Yeah, there was a lot of guest speakers talking about the town's history, and one of them I thought was pretty interesting was the lesser known like cryptids and paranormal stuff around Rhinelander. And when I was driving into town, there was this huge boulder that said "Don't touch Molly's Rock." Like, wonder if that's like sort of like neighbors dispute or like something like that. But as it turns out, there's like a ghost story attached to this, and I learned about Molly's Rock at the festival.
Ooh, all right, story time. Tell us a story.
So do you want the ghost story or the actual story?
Both. Ghost story first.
All right. So there's this huge rock, probably like 7 feet tall by like 8 feet wide, and it says Molly's Rock. But then it was carved to say "Don't touch Molly's Rock" after some instances happened with this, where people would go up on the rock, take a picture with it, and they would feel like they were pushed off by this ghost. So there was a story that this woman died in like a head-on collision with this rock, and she possessed it. So this is now her rock. And eventually the owner of the property whose the rock was on eventually like pushed it into the woods to get rid of it and get rid of all the like trespassers on his property. But the actual story is kind of cute. It's like a romance story where this like traveler would go around and collect rocks for his wife, who's a geologist, and he found this nice rock for her and it's carved Molly's Rock onto it. And eventually they moved out there and they lived in that house. And so you got to see a rock finally.
So it was never pushed off the property or anything like that?
Until it was pushed off the property by the next owner.
Did they actually move out there and they owned the land that the rock was on?
Yes, yeah.
It is kind of cute. And then the owner was like, "Nope," and just pushed it.
Mhm.
Got it.
Causing too much attention.
I kind of like the ghost story. That's a possessed rock that's kind of cool.
Mhm.
All right, so the next one I think should be this guy.
Yeah, Who Gag. So I was there's not a specific city for him, so I just went as north as possible in Wisconsin, and it turned out that's where they have no mobile data signal. So I was kind of lost for a little bit.
No, I mean it's fitting for it for sure.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those where you can't tell where its legs are in the trunks of the tree. Yeah, MetaZoo. It is underrated. It's one of those that doesn't get much love.
I actually learned how to touch my toes specifically to play that card.
I love it.
So Mr. Pishu is from Lake Superior, and I was hoping to get the picture of that like mural of him, that red mural on a rock. That turns out to be on the Canadian side. So maybe one day I go to Canada and get a picture of that.
Yeah, it is kind of really hard to actually get a picture of. It's kind of hard to see almost too.
I think that's like closed off to the public now.
Oh, okay.
To like preserve it.
Mm-hmm.
So Mackinac Island has really no monsters, but there's a few ghost stories to it that feels like it's kind of being pushed by the tourist company. So I brought a ghost dog with me to sample the fudge. I thought it'd be funny if you can give a ghost dog chocolate, see what happens.
That's kind of cruel. They don't have lives like cats.
I mean, would it be okay to give a ghost dog chocolate?
I mean, okay, I guess in theory, yeah. I don't know. You can get rid of ghosts, though, but I don't think the chocolate would do anything to the ghost, though.
You get like some salted fudge, maybe.
All right, I like that one. All right, that one was good. And then this is the one I'm curious about.
So while I was in Marquette getting the picture of the Mr. Pishu in Lake Superior, I stopped for lunch there, and like my Michigan portion of the trip's kind of sparse. So I looked up more places to add, and I missed the Paulding Light in Paulding. I drove right past that city. I'm like, oh, I can't really go back because I have to go to Mackinac Island and make the ferries to the island and back. So I added more on the southern peninsula, and this is Torch Lake with Torch Lake Monster, who isn't in MetaZoo. So I used the bookmark because I added more beasties to the trip, like the bookmark card.
I love that, bro. That's awesome. You used bookmark because you added extra beasties to the trip.
So I had to get a little creative with the ones I added.
I love that, dude. That's awesome. That's such a cool. I love that.
This is the Michigan Dog Man, and this is just a vast grass field, and you don't really see this much because either trees or farm field. I'm like, what's this grass field doing out here in the middle of all these trees? So I took a picture of a sheep token to try and lure out the werewolf, but he only appears of every 10 years in the year ending in 7. So
that's freaking cool, man.
That's the actual that's the lore behind it. It only shows up every 10 years.
Every 10 years, and one that's ending in 7. So next year, 2027, gonna make an appearance.
I love how you're incorporating all that into it. It's not like you're just visiting and taking a photo. Like you've actually put like thought and gone pretty in depth with it too, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, because my pull over and take a lake stretch break, I look up the city and look up the cryptid in the city and see how they intertwine.
No, that's
cool, man.
Yeah, I love like Mike just said, the thought that you put into this. That bookmark, because you smiled when I said the bookmark before the interview started, and yeah, the thought that you put into this. I mean, you're telling a story almost. That's awesome. I love that.
There were
as the lore guy, I love that whole concept.
Because there were a few spots where I could have stopped and gotten another random picture just to say, hey, I took another picture. But I kind of want these to mean something. because I saw like a few Smokey the Bear signs saying like the risk of fire today is so and so today, and one sign said very high. I'm like, there was the White Stag Inn I passed, and I could take a picture of the White Stag card. Like I want these kind of like mean something in their locations, so just like going to find the closest analog to what I can get to a card.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the was it Giant Green Squirrel of Amble, and I didn't have my my Black Squirrel of Lincoln County or Lincoln Tunnel, was it? I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember.
But they're featured in this card, so I got to take a picture of this random pile of logs. Looks like driftwood almost.
And this is actually in the location where the giant green squirrel is?
Yeah.
Nice. What where is this exactly? What town?
It's called Amble. It's kind of it's on the southern peninsula of Michigan. If you go to the center and then go directly west, that's where it is.
Okay, cool, nice. So you're like you're well on making your way back at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
This was the last day of the journey.
Oh, cool. I love this one too. What's the story behind this guy? Because I love the artwork on this card.
So this is the Melonheads, who were kind of like children who were like tortured and experimented on by like this mad doctor, and then they eventually revolted and killed him. And this is the mansion where it took place. Like it's attached to the story, where you can still see them in the woods around this mansion. But when I arrived here, yeah, well, it's a urban legend.
Do you? Oh, okay. Tell us the urban legend. Tell us more about this urban legend, because I've never heard of this before. That's awesome.
Well, there's a few different versions of the story. This is like the Michigan version of it that I'm familiar with.
Okay.
Where was it like this mad doctor adopted like the orphans from his orphanages. This orphans from orphanages that was like burned down or something, and he like locked them up in this mansion and tortured them to, like with like weird growth experiments, and they had like bulbous heads because of the experiment, and they eventually like became super smart, and they like revolted against him and killed him, and then they like became feral in the woods.
I'm with you, MetaZoo.
This is like a real life Umbrella Academy, like
that. So now knowing this tragic backstory behind this mansion, when I arrived here, I think there was a wedding going on. So that's what there's like a slight white tent in the picture next to the mansion. That's the like reception area for the wedding.
They were having a wedding there?
Yeah.
That's wild. That's
pretty romantic spot.
Did you? Okay, so I got to ask again, just because, like, did you feel anything while you were there? Anything like that?
Not at this spot.
Okay, did you walk around anywhere else around the vicinity, or was it just you just take the picture and then that was
I didn't want a wedding crash, so I just took the picture and left.
I 100% would have crashed that wedding. I would have walked around that building like, sorry guys, doing research here. Sorry, I'm not from
Fair
here.
enough.
100% would have ruined that. Dude, Pancho actually says he's right here. He's like dream wedding.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Dream wedding if they actually appear.
All right. Next one is this guy. I should say this lady.
So this is Detroit, and I actually found the house where the event took place. And on the other side of me was like a school, so I kind of felt like okay, like I can actually take the picture of the house. And there's also another one, I think, like more downtown of like, what's his name? Nain Rogue. It's like a devil-looking guy.
Okay.
So I thought it was interesting that this one city has like 2 cryptids as opposed to just one, as like most places do.
Now, do you know the actual story behind the Hag of Detroit?
No, I didn't look up into this one because I was wanting to get home because my legs were really hurting.
Oh, fair. Yeah, I need to look into that one because I'm not sure exactly why she has a card.
Mm-hmm.
Next one I got, boom, is this guy.
Werewolf of Defiance. Defiance, Ohio lines up perfectly between Detroit and Fort Wayne. So, like, well, this lines up perfectly with this.
Why'd you? Was that why you chose this spot? Is this pretty much like the dissection?
Yes,
of
because
states?
I was just gonna do like the states around Michigan, but since this was the only spot in Ohio that it was like close enough to do, because I plan to do another road trip in September where I'm gonna do more eastern states to Point Pleasant, and I'm gonna go down or the western side of Ohio, do a whole bunch of stuff there to Loveland, and go east to Point Pleasant, and then maybe further east to other stuff.
Nice. Definitely have to go to. If you when you go to Point Pleasant, you definitely have to. Because I still need to do this, and I regret not doing it the first time. Go out to Flatwoods and actually check out the Flatwoods Museum. It's
Oh yeah,
like
that's definitely going to be a spot.
Yeah, it's one of my goals in September is because I went to Mothman Festival, I went to the museum, it was amazing, but I've been wanting to go to the Flatwoods Museum for a minute now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then we got this guy.
So when I was planning this trip, I completely forgot about this guy because I knew he was buried in Fort Wayne, and I've been to his grave before, and I knew he was a MetaZoo card, and I see his card all the time. I look through my UFO binder, and when I was in Rylander talking to the guys doing the MetaZoo tent, like how to play, he was brought up. I'm like, wait a second, he's in Fort Wayne, and I'm going to Fort Wayne. So then I visited his grave real quick and got a picture.
Nice. Now, and this might be a weird question. Is that just like a marker, or is that technically where Johnny Appleseed is really buried?
I think that's just a marker. I think they found a skeleton there and it was moved so people don't like disturb it. And this is just an empty marker now.
Because Johnny Appleseed was, as far as I'm aware, a real person. His story has been widely embellished. He's turned into this huge myth of a folklore hero. But I was curious because I wasn't sure if that honestly was his real gravesite or if it was just a marker. Because a lot of times with some of these big mythic heroes, creatures, they always have just markers instead.
Do you know the story of why he planted apple seeds?
No. Oh, well, I don't. I don't think I do. Tell me.
So when the colonists were moving further west, there was all this unclaimed land. Johnny Appleseed ran ahead and planted his crop where he could technically lay claims to the land and then sell it. So that's why he brought apple seeds with him, so he can plant as much as possible, as quick as possible, and then sell the land to new people.
Oh wow! that technically takes Johnny Appleseed down a notch, in my opinion.
Yeah,
smart guy, but wow, that's just rude. That's all I'm gonna say. Rude. Can't do it. I got my apple tree there. Don't you dare take it down the hill. And then that brings us to our last photo of your trip, and I love it.
Of my ending trip through the cryptid nation of my dog, who was left at my parents' house because he wanted to be a very good co-host for my trip. Because he likes to move around a whole bunch, and he wouldn't sit still in a car for more than an hour.
I love it. You said you were gonna take another trip down this fall. Is this something that you kind of want to continue? I mean, not just this fall, but like do some more stuff out west, even maybe like even
maybe
California.
Because my original idea was to visit like all these cryptid festivals, and then MetaZoo released their tower schedule. So I went to the Frogman Festival, and then the Hodag Festival, and then the Mothman Festival. But unfortunately, the Forest Tower wasn't there. But
yeah,
maybe I'll go when they reschedule that.
I know. Yeah, that was postponed. I think till the end of the year. Dark Tower is still at Mothman Festival. I can't wait for Mothman Festival. Like I can't stress enough how amazing it was last year actually at Mothman Festival, and just based off of the turnout that they had and the reception they had at Mothman Festival last year, I honestly see them putting more focus on that than the Charlotte Collecticon that is at that same weekend.
Oh yeah.
Which in my eyes is super impressive, and that speaks a lot for that specific festival, that it's actually, I think they're going to have more of a presence than a con.
Because I heard last year's festival was the highest turnout they've ever had, with like 10,000 people showing up.
There was over the course of both days, there was, I think, close to about 22,000 people.
Really?
Yes, it was the most they had ever had before at a festival. I kid you not. If you can see how crowded it was. If you I have what is it? Operation Mothman Festival. It's the cover of the festival video that I made. Some of the clips inside of it, you can see how many people were in like downtown Main Street. And I've talked about it before. It was crazy. I went there about a month before with my wife, and to actually see the transformation from there being maybe 40 people down Main Street to thousands was crazy. Like I said, I can't wait. Favorite festival I went to last year.
I think when I go, I'm going to get there like on day 1 or 2 of my trip, and then kind of circle there and back for multiple offshoots for more beasties.
What are some other smaller festivals that you want to kind of try to go to?
There's a Cherubusco festival. I think it's coming up in a week at the end of June. Now that I know there's a Little Green Men festival in Kelly and the Muddy Monster festival in Murfreesboro, I'm going to try and go to those.
Are they still doing a Squonk festival in Pennsylvania?
I've never heard of that.
It was something new that they were talking. The guys, actually, the Hodag guys, they were actually talking about potentially doing a Squonk festival this year. I thought they might have scheduled it for this fall, but I couldn't remember. I think it's in Pennsylvania though.
All right, I have to look out for that.
I love that all these obscure cryptids are getting their own like festivals and such. I mean, it's not just big for MetaZoo, it's not just big for the brand, the franchise, but it's also big for like the community, not just the MetaZoo cryptid community, but the cryptid community at large. I mean, the more eyes, the more people you get actually focused on cryptids, the more likely they're going to hear about MetaZoo. They're going to actually somehow be introduced to the brand, the franchise, and that's I don't know. It's interesting because I'll be honest with you. Besides, like, maybe Supernatural, I can't really think of anything that was super cryptid focused. And I just see cryptids popping up a lot more randomly in media since MetaZoo started making moves like 2021, 2022.
Oh, interesting.
Like, I've just started seeing, and maybe it might just be because I'm more looking for it now because of being so focused on MetaZoo. I'm actually focused, like, looking for more references, but I'm seeing a lot more references to like cryptids, to like obscure ones, creatures, things like that. I don't know. It's interesting because again, I didn't really actually see any of those connections until I started really looking more at MetaZoo.
I think it's cool that you got into MetaZoo just from seeing the blisters at Target, man. I think that's real. I think you're the first person. Yeah, I think you're the first person I've talked to that's gotten into MetaZoo that way.
I think I've heard of 2 other people from like just other random posts who got into MetaZoo that way too.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's like Claire. Claire actually, she bought a couple of the 3-pack blisters, like the old ones from Walmart.
Oh yeah,
that's how she got into it.
Yes, okay.
It's crazy too that like I love that you're a perfect example of why I think MetaZoo is going to succeed too, because you've loved cryptids. There's something that you've actually, like you said, that you've liked since you were a kid. And so immediately, as soon as you saw it, you grabbed it and it hooked you. It hooked you like it hooked me, man. Oh God. The artwork originally is what hooked me. And then the story.
That's a good anchor point too.
Like, I love how your travels were all like story centric though. Like each one of the pictures has its own story to it.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
So does the chat have any questions or anything for Alex about his trip, about future trips, anything like that? Are you going to compete in any of the towers?
I'm going to try the Dark Tower.
Okay. What about Caster's Cup? You think about trying to go to
that? Probably not, because I sort of planned my my work vacations around the towers.
Okay. Well, if you win Dark Tower, you kind of have to go to Caster's Cup.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, at least that point you're getting hardcore pay though.
Yeah.
Here we go. Wayward Casters. Do you have a favorite print that's on your wall? That beautiful Massive collection.
Impressive collection.
I would say it has to be Mercy Brown right here, just because it's like an alternate version of her wearing like the poker outfit, as opposed to like just like a cape and like a crown. But then again, she already had a dress on, so they just added a little bit more to it.
Do you collect full master sets, or do you just collect the cards that you like?
I collect full master sets.
Okay, have you finished all of them so far?
I have Cryptid Nation, Nightfall, Wilderness, and UFO finished, and I'm still missing a lot of the Hateful Eight from Seance. And I don't know about Native.
Brother, the Hateful Eight, because you hate them, but you love.
I think
what is it that Ted says? Texas Ted says you hate them until you wait. No, what was it that he said? He called them the Hateful Eight, and then he called them the Lovable Eight, and because he said something along the lines of like you hate them when you can't pull them, but you love them when you. I can't remember what it was, but it was amazing. I have to get it actually record it next time
because I've had such terrible luck with them. I've opened like 160 Seance packs, and I've gotten one.
Oh
man,
there's a couple people I know that's actually like that. That was me with Wilderness. Like I ended up having to actually buy a lot of the Wild 7 because I couldn't pull them. Like Mishu Pishu to point out one specifically, and Stoneman for some random reason. What did you? I don't remember if I asked you this. What's your favorite set?
Oh, it's Native.
Okay, Native. Oh, that's right. Okay, I did ask you. All right. I always curious about that one. Ooh, that's a good one, MetaZoo. MetaZoo wants to know, what is your ultimate cryptid destination?
Ooh. I think for a long time it's been Mothman because he's been my favorite cryptid. But I'm going to go there this September, so then I have to find a new place. It would probably have to be somewhere in Japan, actually, because I like a lot of the yokai.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh. See, I didn't know much about the yokai either until they actually announced that they were doing this set over there. That's the crazy thing, is I didn't really, honestly, looking back, know that much about cryptids and such until about a year and a half ago when I jumped into all of this. And like it's so crazy the vast richness of the stories there are. The one guy at CryptidCon said it perfectly. He said every holler has a story, has a creature.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like a lot of the yokai would fit perfectly into MetaZoo because they have a lot of gimmicks to themselves in their natural legend.
Oh yeah.
Wayward got another good question. Is there a story behind the crest on the side of this video? Family crest?
So I got this little statue of a chimera, and I decided to make that into my logo. Not much story behind that.
What type of content do you do on YouTube?
Let's plays, where I do 100% of video games.
Oh wow! What kind of games have you completed?
So I've only finished one, and I'm starting Ghostwire Tokyo.
Okay.
So I finished Journey.
What type of games are those?
What's that?
What type of games are those?
PC games.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I just need to find more time to set aside to actually do more videos because it takes a while to record and then edit and then all that fun stuff.
Oh, I know. It takes up way too much time. I did drop a link to his YouTube channel in the description if anybody wants to go and give him a follow. Check out the videos that he actually makes. MetaFan trip to Japan. If you want to pay for me, Wayward. I will gladly go if you pay, my friend. I gotta find the money to go to Castor's Cup this year. I gotta start selling some stuff.
Castor's Cup's gonna be crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. Oh my god, I can't wait. Especially with all of us riding down the road on a Revive skateboards. Shout out to Alan.
What about your bear walkers?
Oh, that's rich. I can't. That's too rich for my blood. I'll have to use my awful Revive board.
Oh no, you'll probably go. I have a Cumberland.
Oh, I know you do. I know you did a kickflip in it and it killed me a little bit.
I won't.
Wayward says I got you, but I won't be able to go then. I'll do a good job covering everything, Wayward. I promise. I'll get you all the souvenirs you need. You tell me what you want. I got you. But yeah, anybody else have any questions? I mean, I really appreciate you jumping on here, Alex, and actually kind of talking and walking us through your travels. I really want when you do the trip later this fall to come back on and actually kind of do the same thing. Like you can actually take us through the travel. I would encourage you to honestly even make like, I think it would be kind of cool if you, every time you stopped at one of these places, you did like a 3 or 4 minute like video excerpt, and like turn something into like a video. I would totally watch something like this about your travels, about going all the way around back home. Like I love that stuff. I totally dig that type of stuff.
Yeah, I'll have to get like a handheld camera to do that.
Hey, you can use a phone just like all I use is a phone to run my entire channel. Like just a couple like little like clip about like what the beastie is or where you are or whatever like that, dude. I would eat that stuff up. I can't wait though. I'm excited you're actually going to be going to Dark because that way I could actually meet you at Mothman Festival. Yeah. You better go too, Mike. If you don't go,
I'm gonna be upset.
Yeah, you got to go to Mothman. Mothman's going to be the event of the year.
That's what it sounds. It sounds like it's going to be. Everybody that I've talked to is saying that they're probably going to freaking Mothman. So
I can't stress enough how amazing that festival was last year. But yeah, I can't think of anything else to ask you, my man. I've thoroughly enjoyed your story though. Thank you so much for coming on here and actually like sharing with us your experiences and stuff like that. Especially the stuff about the Hodag Festival. There wasn't really much coverage of the Hodag Festival, so I'm glad we got to see a little bit from your eyes, some little of the stories or anything like that. Anybody you want to shout out or anything like that you want to talk about real quick before we wrap it up?
So at the festival, there was a Abyssal Artorias from Discord and was it Arbiter something from Discord who changed his name to Happy
360.
Yeah, he changed his name to Happy the Hodag.
Yep.
So yep, shout out to them who attended.
Super solid guys. Arbiter and Abyssal both are super solid guys in the community.
Yeah,
I love that. I'm so jealous you got to meet them now. Like
Artorias gave me his UFO, and I traded him one of my promos for that. So then I completed the UFO set finally.
Nice. I actually a couple months ago I traded Abyssal. I got Jet to sign a Sheep Squatch at CryptidCon, and I traded him that for Father Barbecue.
Oh, wow.
Barbecue Sam. Yeah. So I was stoked about that. Like, I love those guys. They're both of them. They're really great guys. Dean, what's up, my guy? How are you doing this evening?
Dean in the house.
All expecting us to actually go live in 2 hours. He wasn't expecting.
No, I know.
Gotcha, Dean. But yeah, anybody else have like last call for questions or anything like that before we wrap it up, Mike? You got anything you'd like to add?
Though it doesn't pertain to my trip, I have an actual cryptid story of mine where I saw a cryptid, I believe. So when I was going into high school, I tried out cross country, and we would meet up early in the mornings and go running just to random places. And one time we went down this one trail, and my friend and I looked to our side, and we saw these huge bird statues on this roof. They had to be like 5 or 6 feet tall. And we thought they were statues, kind of like you see in Japan, how they kind of adorn their rooftops with statues. But then one of them started flexing their wings, and like, whoa, those are real birds. Like they were massive, huge, like silhouetted like eagles or like a peregrine falcon, like a bird of prey of some sort. And then maybe a year or two later, I heard of Washington's eagle, where it's this like giant eagle that has never been officially discovered. I'm like, well, I guess I saw Washington's eagle.
Talking about the giant eagle from Rescuers Down Under?
I haven't heard of that.
Oh my God. Rescuers Down Under. It's an old animated movie, and it takes place in Australia, and it's all about them trying to like rescue this big giant golden eagle.
Yeah, I think it is like a goldish brown color. But what I saw was just silhouetted against the rising sun. So it was just black, both of them were.
That's awesome. You saw a real life ho-ho.
Yeah.
Get out of here, Mike.
I've been waiting. I have been waiting to drop
that. Was perfect timing. I
have
love
been
it.
waiting. I have had that waiting.
He was cued ready. He's like, I'm ready.
I was so ready. There we go.
Watch out. You know he's going to put a soundboard in here next. We're going to have all sorts of sound effects. That's awesome, though. I'm kind of jealous you got to see one of those things. Yeah, if you've never seen The Rescuers Down Under, check it out. It's an old like 90s animated film. I love it. Great stuff.
I thought that was like a cartoon for some reason. I'm
the Rescue Rangers was
that's
the cartoon.
Probably what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
And then you have The Rescuers, which is the first one about the two mice that go and rescue the little girl in the steamboat in Louisiana. And then you have The Rescuers Down Under, which is about the two mice that go and rescue the eagle and the boy in Australia.
Okay. I think that's
Oh man, no, it's one of those where like if you went to actually look at it, you would 100% like get a huge flashback, like yeah, when he's tied down on the cliff. Let's go, MetaZoo. See, MetaZoo, my guy. That's why I love you, MetaZoo. It's also because we're old.
Right. It really is.
But on that note, again, Alex, aka Razzmatazz, thank you so much for joining us here this week on Let's Talk MetaZoo. Thank you so much for sharing your story, your travels. I'm really excited to talk to you again sometime this fall after you do the roundabout to Mothman Festival and then come back up. And make sure to do you have like an Instagram account or anything like that?
I do, but I don't post to it.
Okay,
I don't even know it off the top of my head.
Follow this man on YouTube, and maybe we can talk him into actually getting an Instagram account to where he can actually post his travels next time this fall too. But Mike, anything you'd like to add before we wrap up?
No. Hey, thanks for coming on the show, Alex. You know, I actually learned a few things as we were going through all this stuff. I'm slowly gonna turn into Rob, man, with this lore stuff. I'm telling you, the more and more
working.
But well, I just want to say I think it's really cool what you're doing. Like you're going more in depth on things. You're really you're actually putting thought into this. It's not just you going to an area and saying, "Oh, hey, let me take a quick photo of this." It's thought out. It's cool, man. And I like the fact that you're into cryptids too. So I guess it's going to make it even more fun for you. And glad that you found MetaZoo, and look forward to hearing on the next trip.
At some point in the future, I actually want to write a book on cryptids, and I have this list, this super super long list of I think 8,000 entries of cryptids and monsters and people and things from mythology to loop back and research later. So that's why I know quite a few different things about cryptids and yokai and fairy tales.
I'm going to hit you up on some of my theory ideas.
Yeah.
Yo, what do you know about this? No. But man, thanks again for jumping on here with us. Like I said, can't wait to talk to you again in the fall. And stick around. We'll have another episode coming out on Monday. We got some other cool stuff planned for the future. And you guys all have a wonderful evening. Thanks so much for jumping in here. No, we actually did a little early today too. So thanks for bearing with us while we did the time change. But I love you guys. I love this community. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Peace.